Walls and fences. We all know what a wall is, and we all know what a fence is. And Robert Frost, in one of his famous poems, wrote, "Fences make good neighbors." So what's the purpose of a wall or a fence? Well, one of the purposes is to mark territory. And that will also keep out intruders and keep out predators and keep out animals and say, this is my possession. And all through history, civilizations have built walls. They've built walls for a purpose, mainly to keep out the enemy and to protect the homeland. And most times in ancient walls, those walls were made very high in stone, and they had a very small opening for people to transverse from one side to the other. And if you were to go in and out of that wall, the only way you could do that was to get on your knees and crawl out. And that made it difficult for intruders and for attackers to get into your possessions. And at the top of the wall, at different places, there were watchtowers, and they would be manned and sentried, and they would be able to see if somebody was coming to attack you. Now, those are physical walls, but we also have psychological walls. We end up building walls around ourselves. This is a way in which we defend ourselves from being hurt. And the more you get hurt, and you let that hurt rot inside of you, and you don't get rid of it, your walls get thicker and thicker and higher and higher. And then eventually you become isolated so much in yourself, in your fear, that you have lost who you are. And it's up to us to try now to break down those walls, to open ourselves, to let ourselves be open to others. And when we do, then we start to begin to grow and flourish the way God made us. We weren't meant to be sad people. We weren't meant to be people who were meant to suffer forever. No, we all get hurt. There's not one of us who didn't. Who hasn't been bullied as a kid? Who hasn't had somebody say something against us we didn't like? Who hasn't done something that's even destroyed our reputations? But that doesn't make us who we are. God loved you uniquely. He loves you now at this moment, and that's the reason why you exist. If you didn't have God's love now, you wouldn't even be the nothing that you came from. God loves you, and he wants to see the essence of your being in development into his image. And you can only do that if you break down those walls. Not only just walls with each other, but the walls we build against him. Yes, we often sometimes don't even realize how many walls we've built against God. Oh, he didn't answer our prayers when we asked for him. He didn't come to our aid when we were in need. So we thought. God is always there, and he knows that we're in trouble, and he is there. He's there, but you just don't see him. He's there because we don't have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, to listen to him at the times when we need to. Yes, God never abandons us. God never forgets us. It's we who do that. It's we who forget him. And when we forget him, we build those walls and those fences, and we keep him out. Because we're really afraid of him. Because we're afraid that he might ask us for something we don't want to give him. But until we surrender and give him the total surrender of our life, we will never be truly happy. Yes, we need to start breaking down those walls and tearing down those fences. Not just to ourselves and to our neighbors, but basically to God. We have to let him take over in our life if we are to be truly free and totally happy. So work on breaking down those walls. Little by little, every day, give yourself to him. And when he comes and he knocks on your door, will you open it? Will you open it and let him in? Will you let his light shine upon you? Clean out the dust and the clutter that's in your life and give your life to him? It's the best thing you will ever be able to do. So when God comes knocking, make sure you open that door.